How we all doing, everybody? I'm Neil.
And I'm Luke.
We are here with the Thunderbutts podcast production.
That's right.
The
Thunderbutts podcast.
This series is called Cancelled, and we are on episode 4.
Episode 4. Correctamundo.
Where we discuss series that were canceled perhaps too soon.
Yep.
Or maybe right in time.
Or maybe. Canceled television shows that lasted 1 to maybe 2. I mean, so far it's all been 1 season. You know.
Episode 1, we did Chaos. Episode 2, we did Firefly.
That's right. That was
Episode
a good one.
3, we did first comedy, Ghosted.
That's right.
And then now we are doing Freaks and Geeks.
See.
Which I guess would be classified as a dramedy?
I'd give it dramedy.
Yeah.
It's probably just like a comedy, but like I'd give it dramedy.
Do you wish the show was called Freaks and Greeks?
No. Because it's not Greek. I didn't have
If
that
there
thought.
ever was a show called Freaks and Greeks, if they're not hitting up our boy Luke here, then we got a bone to pick with those producers.
What the fuck? Freaks and Geeks, it lasted 1 season. It's got a fucking cast.
Yeah.
Right?
A loaded cast.
A loaded cast. I mean, again, sorry if I mispronounce things. Linda Cardellini, John Francis Daly, Martin Starr, James Franco, Jason Segel, Busy Phillips, Seth Rogen, Natasha Melnick. I don't know if this is true. Sam Levine and Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf was in there.
Shia LaBeouf made it?
He was one of the it's not like a big part. He kind of was just like a young kid in a scene because he was like, 12 at the time or whatever. The show came out in 1999,
yes,
baby.
It was a show that came out in 1999 through 2000, but it takes place in the year 1980.
Yep. It was
which
on,
I didn't know. I didn't know it was like an
no.
80s thing.
You know what's interesting is I did not know that until like midway through the show.
It literally, the first episode, it's like 1980.
I like missed it.
Oh yeah.
Well, because I usually gauge like looking at the fashion, like what they're wearing and stuff, and the technology or whatever. And I was kind of just like, yeah, okay, this is 90s stuff,
Well, that's the beauty of a show that was made in the late 90s about like an 80s show made in 1999 is that it was actually seeming. You gotta tell me when you do that.
You did a good job. Keep going. It was made.
Well, you don't want to talk through the pop rip. Anyway, that was the beauty of a show that pops off in like 1990, an 80s show that was made in like the late 90s, right? Is because it actually looks like the fucking 80s as opposed to an 80s show or movie that goes down in 2025 and like things are all fucking bright and sparkly with fucking scrunchies and the music is like fucking synth music that was made in 2022. Like the music was like music that kids were listening to and stuff like that.
It finally dawned.
Things were as brown as the 80s actually were.
It dawned on me like what year the actual show was because when they started, going into their tastes in music and stuff.
Yeah,
they'd be like, oh, we're like super into Rush and everything, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, no one in the 90s said that.
Yeah, I'm like, these high school students aren't just really into classic rock.
Right, right. Now, I did not live through the 80s, did you?
I remember 1 year of the 80s.
Oof, which one?
1989. And I don't have a lot of memories from it, but it's just snippets, I guess.
Sure.
I have some early memories of like ringing in the new year, like 1992.
Whoa.
93.
Okay.
94.
All right.
But I mean, I wasn't really a huge consumer of NBC network television at that age.
Sure.
Outside of maybe like sport, watching football or baseball games with my dad or something.
The OJ trial.
Yeah, I do. I actually remember watching the OJ car chase.
Oh,
the
Bronco
white,
chase.
Yeah, the white Bronco chase.
The slow speed white Bronco.
Yep. I was
chase.
with my grandparents at the time. We were staying with them, me and my family, and we stayed up and watched the chase while I had grandparents who were born in the mid 1920s narrate that.
Wow. You could see OJ with the gun to his head?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you could see it. Well, the reporters at the time were saying it. They're like, oh, he's got a gun to his head in the car.
Right. So, so, like, where were you on 9/11, since we're just talking about big events?
We're just talking about big events?
No, don't answer that.
Sophomore biology class.
Wow. Anyway.
High school biology class.
So you barely remember the 80s. I was not present for them, but this show takes place in the 80s. I mean, it's a 90s show. Well, it was 99, and that's like Friends. It's considered like a 90s show, I think, by a lot of people, but that came out in like 97, 98?
Yeah.
Like by the time
97.
it ended, we were like in the 2000s.
Yeah, we were well into the 2000s.
Like, yeah, like the fucking Twin Towers were in the background of that show, and then they weren't. Right?
Yeah.
So,
it's like,
we came full circle. 9/11.
Change the background here.
I think they kept it in the whole time. Or no, wait. I think they just didn't use those shots.
Yeah, they just didn't use them.
It wasn't like filmed. I don't think it was filmed in New York.
We
keep bouncing to the 90s. Okay. Anyway. Well, I mean, it's a show that was made in the 90s. So anyway, thoughts on the show? How'd you?
Well, I'll say this: you got 17 episodes.
Yep.
Right.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty long episodes.
Average runtime 45 minutes. So an hour-long spot on
it's a Judd
network,
Apatow show.
TV. Yep. I believe like his first
This was his first shit.
His first big one.
Yeah.
And
you could really see, the early outlines of Judd Apatow comedy.
Yeah. I mean, especially with the people he was using.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like what he was doing. And the whole purpose of the show revolves around two groups of high school kids.
Yep. Some are freaks.
The geeks and the freaks.
And some are geeks.
In my opinion, the freaks, I mean, they're kind of cool. Dude,
the show is about the geeks, though.
Yeah, but it's about the geeks.
It's about the geeks. The geeks make the show,
you have
dude.
You have two, like the two main characters is the girl and the guy. That's the...
it's a brother and sister, right? Linda Cardellini and John Francis Daly.
Yeah.
They're brother and sister, and John Francis Daly, I think he's like a freshman in high school. He's like a little pipsqueak kid, and he's hanging out with his little geek friends. And then Linda... I forget the character's name, but she's like a mathlete and stuff like that, but she's trying to like be cool, so she starts hanging out with the freaks. And that's like, Franco and Seth Rogen and
doesn't hurt that James Franco is a major cutie.
Yeah, he's the heartthrob of the show for sure.
The heartthrob in the freak club.
In the freak, right? Like they're not the popular kids. They're the fucking weirdos who like fucking smoke cigs under the bleachers.
They smoke pot too. They smoke that wacky tobacco.
They poke smot for sure. the geeks definitely make the show for me though. Like the crazy antics that like they get like that go on in the show are pretty much perpetuated by the geeks, right? Like there's that episode where the older sister decides to throw a kegger at the house when like the parents are out of town, and the geeks freak out because
that was early on. Yeah,
it was one of the first episodes. The geeks are freaking out because they don't want underage drinking, like they can get in trouble, and they had to watch some sort of movie on like drinking and driving, so they come up with a plan to buy a keg of non-alcoholic beer and swap it out.
Yeah, that's like where it's funny because Judd Apatow, like the purpose of the show was not to like glamour, because 90s high school show, most popular 90s high school show, Saved by the Bell, right? Where you're like you're glamorizing this 4-year high school experience.
Sure, yeah.
Where everybody's pretty and popular, and
right.
Your main characters are, AC Slater, wrestling champion, right? But in this show, what he was trying to do was he was trying to show that like, no, high school was like very, very awkward for most people, and only a very small subcategory of folks were like, I killed high school.
Right. Well, that's the thing. The show really tackles like real situations, right? I mean, it's in the 80s too, so like you get that fun lens on it. But like, these are like real like things going on with like, like real people.
Yeah, where the main characters, these high school kids who are trying to sort of, figure out their life, navigating a public high school. And there isn't any, like, the show, it is, a lighthearted comedy and stuff, but there's a lot of like what I would call like the broken dreams sort of narrative where, you have these people pursuing stuff and then it doesn't end like there's not like happy endings, and I think that's best. There's one episode that was centered around Jason Segel's character.
When he wanted to be the drummer.
When he wanted to be a drummer.
Yeah, it just kind of ended.
And it was just like a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got
like, I was bummed.
Yeah. He's got this massive, like, 29-piece drum set that he's been playing on, and, like, he talks about music for the whole fucking series, and then, like, we actually see him play, and he's just, like, terrible.
Yeah, he's awful.
And he has to come to grips with the fact, he's like, I want to be a drummer. My dad's going to send me to the military.
He's got his face as military dad.
Yeah.
Who's in an Air Force uniform, by the way.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And he's like, I don't want to join the Army. It's like, buddy, do you know what branch your dad's
and that could be chalked up to just like, fuck, my dad does,
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
if his dad could have been like, the Air Force has a band and you could try out for the band in the air. They could have made a compromise.
Well, I mean, you think you have to go like through the proper like school band,
yeah, they would train you up. It's a good gig.
Well, he's forced with like I got to fucking shit or get off the pot with being a fucking drummer in a band. There is a funny moment when the girl is like, you guys just need to practice more because like when you guys play, you're just fucking like randomly playing notes. You're not like trying to learn songs and stuff, and like the whole band's like, what? We have to try? Fuck that. And Jason Segel's character's like, no, we got to try. And like, it breaks up the band and everything.
He goes to that tryout and it's super awkward because it's, this like semi-known band, kind of thing. And they're just looking for a new drummer. And then he just sucks it up super hard.
Yeah.
And you're kind of hoping for like a moment where they're going to be like, buddy, just keep on drumming.
Yeah.
But they're just like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, they stiff him.
Go away.
And he's even like, I'm not gonna. He's like, this is like, it's just not gonna work out. I guess. And he's just like, he has like that whole like monologue. I was like, I dream of being like, like on the fucking like playing the drums and like they hit the button and the riser goes up and I could play it higher and stuff. He's like, I'm never gonna be that guy. And he's like, probably not even gonna be the guy who hits the button to get the riser. He's like, because I can't keep my grades up. Like a real like fucking I'm 17 years old and have a lot of feelings like what am I doing with my life type
pretty
of
much
thing,
yeah. There's a lot of and I mean there's some warm moments in the show, but there's a lot of moments in the show where it's kind of like, oh, this is sad, and this kind of reminds you sometimes of sort of like you're kind of coming to age in those sort of weird
high school. Such a serious time.
Like weird teenage
this
years.
Stuff matters. Yeah,
where everything is just awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that great the scene where the geeks learn about like have to go through sex ed and stuff like that. And
dude, that was
Biff,
the Biff the teacher, man.
The gym coach / health teacher, classic staple. Is played by Biff.
Yeah, when he popped
From Back
in.
to the Future.
Yeah, when he popped in, I was just like, yes.
Yeah, right. Like perfect role, dude. Like perfect casting.
Yeah, that was.
By the way,
that was probably one of my favorite episodes.
It was a good episode because it's like, there like it ends with Biff like
giving him
all that. Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm not really supposed to say this, but and he closes his office door and like music montage plays while he just fucking like talks to him. And like you see the kid's face and he's just like going through all the expressions like, what, it smells like that. Yeah,
he's having like a real conversation with him, because they in geek fashion they like procured a porno and then watched it in the AV lab.
Right, yeah.
And then and they're I guess they're freshmen in high school, so that puts them around 14,
15-ish,
more or less, and they're just like, they're watching this 80s, well, maybe late 70s.
Could be late 70s.
Late 70s, like hardcore porn. And their faces are just mortified.
Yeah. Just like, oh my god,
dude, I was dying during that. I thought that was hilarious.
Their faces, yeah, killed. I mean, honestly, though, like we already know that everybody in there is like a great actor, but like John Francis Daly, like amazing actor, like at that age, like he killed it. All those little expressions he was doing and stuff, like just like watching it, and you're like, this is just this cast would be amazing if I didn't know that they all grew up to be famous. That's another part of it. It's like literally everybody who pops up, you're like, oh, that person's famous as fuck. Like, like just A-listers when they're like fucking 12
Ironically,
years old.
the least famous person is the main girl.
Yeah,
Linda, what's her face?
Yeah, Cardinelli.
Yeah. She just she didn't do a whole. You know, I was trying to
She
look.
did a bunch of stuff.
She did.
Lita Cardellini.
Yeah, she did stuff afterwards, but you know, if you're comparing it to some of the other people, it's like, oh, she just kind of had
She was Velma, dude.
She had a regular career.
Whoa.
Just a regular career.
Wow. Just brought the mood down hard, buddy. Sam Levine killed it. Yeah, I mean, there's just like a star-studded cast. I loved all the parents that were cast too, and all the teachers at the school. Sarah Hagen was also in it. What's it called? Stephen Lee Shepard. Chauncey Leopardi. Yeah.
Well, I liked it because they all looked like, to include the cast, they like, it was believable that they were all in high school.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It was believable that they were all in high school.
That was the thing that they
did. And then the teachers all looked like believable teachers.
Yeah,
as well.
It was very well casted. I mean, it was like the early 2000s and shit. There was a lot of high school shows and movies.
OC.
Yeah, where it was like 20, like there was like 23-year-olds playing high school. Like, like fucking Scary Movie like made a joke about it where it's like, you know, we're high school students, even though they're like 25 years old.
The OC was the big high school drama that came out when I was in high school. I think it came out like 2002 or 2003. And, you know, the main character of the show who was played by Ben Anderson was like 25 at the time. You know, and he was playing a high school. I think they started him as like a high school sophomore. So he was like 16.
Jesus.
You know, and then I think Misha Barton was actually like, I think she was 17 at the time or like close to age, but she looked like, you know, I mean, she was like, had that like very like model kind of like billboard model aesthetic, you know, where she looked a lot older than she looked like she was like in her mid-20s or late 20s.
That's awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Yeah, there was a few shows that did shit like that where it's like, these are adults. Whereas like the geeks, like the geeks were like little, they were children,
young,
right? Like they were kids.
Super young. They were certainly like, they were sending, I'm sure the audition tapes they were sending in were like legit, like, oh, needs to be signed off by like their parents.
Oh yeah, like their parents were like nearby on set most likely, right? Like there's like the scene where like the kid gets kicked out of the locker room, like he's like afraid to take showers and
he's afraid to shower.
Yeah, and like the bullies when he finally gets over, the bullies kick him out of the locker room and take his towel away so he has to run through school naked. And it's like they don't even like, it's like, no, there's a big circle around where it's like, we're not even gonna kind of show you this is a child. You know what I mean? It's like,
this is a young kid.
It's like the OC, and it was like a fucking 30-year-old playing a freshman. They probably show like the top of a butt crack or something, you know what I mean?
Did you ever have a streaker in your high school at any point in time?
There's a few like football games.
A few? Damn.
Yeah. It was. I grew up in the country. People got bored a lot.
People got bored naked.
It wasn't like it's not like it was like a big thing. Like it didn't happen a lot, but I do remember. I mean, 3.5 years. It was like, you know, I seen a few streakers, but I think both of them were on the football field. Like, yeah. How about you?
Okay.
Yeah.
There was just one.
Yeah.
And it was my senior year. Can't remember the kid's name, but mad props if you hear this. But he did it. I went to a Catholic preparatory, like high school, like shirts and ties,
right,
and stuff. You know,
in West Philadelphia. Sorry, no, that's where you were before you went here when you had to live with your aunt and uncle for getting in trouble.
If only I had a Carlton.
Yeah.
No, like it was it was strict to a degree, right? And a kid, I want to say this was our senior year, maybe our junior year, but like the high school was set up in such a way where it was like the buildings were segmented, but they were all in a row, and you could run, you could go through all the hallways on the first floor. It was 3 floors.
Okay.
Was the school, but you could, the main floor, you could go from one end of the school to the other. And he started at like the far end of one side and then finished in another, and then he ran completely naked. I didn't get to see full on frontal ween.
No
dong. I just so happened to be standing, like I was like, because it was during, I want to say like a shift in periods or whatever, like between classes. So people were like getting settled into classes, and then he like ran through, and it was kind of like the last like shift or whatever. And I was like throwing a tissue out like at the trash can by the door, and I just saw like, I honestly like just saw legs like running through, and I totally missed the fact that this kid put on a scream mask.
Oh, jeez.
To cover his face. But they knew who did it. Right. Granted, like, and this is kind of messed up, but kind of funny at the same time. Catholic prep school out in the suburbs.
Sure.
Not a lot of minorities.
Sure.
This kid happened to be one of the few minorities.
Oh boy. Damn.
So they knew exactly who it was, but because he wore.
There's only like 3 brown dicks in the whole school, and okay.
Yeah. So they knew
they
who
just went by.
They knew who he was, but I'm pretty sure. They they let him graduate, but like he just like wasn't allowed to walk at graduation because it was pretty.
They didn't know if he'd have clothes on or not. Right. Well, shout out to that dude.
Shout out to that guy, legend.
Wow.
Legend.
Well, for Freaks and Geeks, I was watching this, I was like, if somebody were to watch this and they like weren't sure if the Illuminati existed, this would like confirm it, because it's like it's insane. Like I'm like, there's. If you're just like, hey, there isn't an organization that's picking a group of people to be famous, like watch Freaks and Geeks.
There's some lizard people up top that just have like blessed Seth Rogen.
The lizard people have spoken, and it started with Freaks and Geeks. I'm just kidding.
Jewish conspiracy theory to make Seth Rogen rise to the top.
Why did you make it Jewish?
We're just talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, but Jewish people are lizards.
Hey man, I kept it conspiracy oriented.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah.
The cast definitely rocking.
I don't
know
how to recover from this.
I mean, the point you were making was that it's wild to see the career progression of all these people.
Yes.
But Judd Apatow does explain that, in the years following the show.
Yeah.
I dove into a little show. I mean, there's a lot on the internet on this.
Yeah.
And I think we're in one of those like brief periods because every, 5 years or whatever number of years, goes by, and then all of a sudden there's like, oh, there might be a Freaks and Geeks revival or something.
Oh, I hope not.
And then,
let it stay dead.
I mean,
let things stay dead.
Yeah, Judd Apatow recently said, I think either earlier in the year or last year, he said, look, if there was like a story, then, maybe we do it. But the big problem is, the actors are all significantly older now. So we'd have to do something, completely separate, and not sure if, maybe this is actually what people want to see. It's just sort of the nostalgia of it.
So but watch This Is the End.
Yeah.
Just watch that.
He said,
they're all hanging out together.
His career obviously popped off on his own.
Sure.
Doing a bunch of other stuff. But he says in all of his movies, 40-Year-Old Virgin and he did Funny People. He tries to use Freaks and Geeks original cast as much as he can, just to kind of keep the cast sort of in a pain homage to the show and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's why.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's part.
I mean, that's what happens when you work with people. You want to keep working with the good ones,
when you work with good people. I mean, we've had that experience before. We recently worked with some really good people on a pilot, and we would love to work with those people again.
Exactly. Our next project, we're going to start dipping back into that pool of people we know. I mean, that's just how those things sort of work.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And on that note, maybe we take a lap. Let some people hear from
the comment section.
Yeah. I think it's about time we take a break. And enjoy the graphic. You want to say anything before we fade?
Freaks and Geeks. Let's make it happen, people.
We're fading now.
The star. We are back.
We're back.
We're back talking about Freaks and Geeks here on episode 4 of our canceled series.
That's correct.
Talking about canceled shows.
Yes, we are. Today we're talking about Freaks and Geeks.
That's
Freaks
right.
and Geeks.
The 1999 cult high school classic.
Yep, starring so many people.
We went to different high schools.
We sure did. We sure did.
Who do you resonate more with, Luke? Are you a freak or are you a geek?
I probably resonate.
Resonate.
I resonate.
Fun word.
I resonate. I don't know. There's no one-to-one, but honestly, the main character that was like really smart but trying to like hang out with the fucking cool kids, the burnouts and shit.
The girl?
Yeah. I was kind of like that. I had good grades, but I fucked around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't seem to be trying to get high with them, but I think, that's just a cool character
she dabbles.
thing they gave her. So, I mean, I was trying to get high with the fucking degens in high school and stuff. I was getting high with the degens and shit. But, I was also, really good at school. I really liked school.
Mm-hmm.
I hated high school. I really liked college because I liked school, but I hated all the people in high school. So I was kind of, but also I went to a really small high school. So like there was a lot of...
How big are we talking here? Or how small are we talking
here? Less than 1,000 total.
Okay. Mine was about, total was like, I think around 1,200 when I was going there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my graduating class was like 100 maybe, less than that.
Mine was 300.
Okay. So I had a tiny little high school.
Everybody's in each other's shit.
Everybody was in each other's shit. If you spilled your milk at fucking lunch by third period, everyone knew about it, right?
Was it really cliquey? Were there cool kids and?
Well, yeah. What I was getting at is that like because it was so small, there was a lot of overlap with the fucking cliques,
mm-hmm.
right? Like there'd be burnout jocks, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there'd be cool kids that are theater kids, like there wasn't. And I think that like television, especially like television from this era and previous, sort of like define these like geek roles and freak roles and jock roles, and that might have been true in earlier generations, but like there was. At least in my high school, there was a lot of overlap. Like there was fucking star football players that were addicted to heroin and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like fucking maybe yeah. But like the because it was in the country, there was like a clique of like I called them like the cowboys. Like there was a clique of like the fucking farmer boys.
Mm-hmm.
There's a clique of jocks. There's like the artsy types.
Mm-hmm.
There was nerds. You know what I mean? There's just the weirdos,
mm-hmm.
Stoners,
yeah.
burnouts, but there was overlap between all of them because it's like a party was being thrown and like most of those people were there because,
mm-hmm. Yeah. My school was kind of stereotypical in the notion that it was pretty cliquey and the cliques were mirrored kind of what you would think,
Oh, really?
The cool kids are jocks.
Oh, really?
The cool girls are attractive, cheerleaders kind of thing.
Shit.
They dated each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of...
Which one were you?
So kind of weird. I mean,
everyone says they are.
Not to say that I'm weird.
This many years removed from high school, everyone All right, tell me.
Yeah. I just got lambasted for not going to my like 20th year reunion, which would have been last year, and I was kind of like, I didn't know it even happened.
Ooh, 21.
Yeah. So, I mean, you had like
21 años.
Yeah, since I've graduated. It's been a
Yeesh.
minute for
It's a lot of presidents.
Like going to
that's decades.
Multiple or more than two. Yeah, I mean, going to a prep school, you had to like to get into the school, you had to pass an entrance exam, right? So like everybody in the school for the most part was, intelligent to some degree. So everybody was kind of a nerd in some regard. So you think you wouldn't have like your like burnouts or whatever, but there was that.
There's burnouts.
Like, there was that group, of kids who like, smoked pot. They
were like the rich kids whose parents just paid for them to get in.
That was definitely the case at my high school.
It's always the case.
There was a loophole where if you were a legacy, so if like a family member went there before,
the privileged,
the entrance exam score to like get in was like significantly lower.
Oof.
Yeah, like
it's literal privilege.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yikes.
Like if you were just trying to get in on your own without any connection, you had to get like above a 90 or something like that.
Ooh, you had to ace that shit.
Yeah, you had to ace it. But like if you had a sibling that went there, you could get in with like above a 70.
Okay.
Like there was a pretty big.
You had to pass it.
You had to pass the thing,
right?
And it was kind of like a ACT sort of SAT kind of style test.
It's like a placement test sort of deal.
Yeah, so you think that would sort of like womp out all these groups, you know, and then everybody would just be kind of a nerd, but it was not the case.
You did not go to a Miles Morales ass high school.
No, And I mean, I sucked at school for the most part, and I was a C student, right?
C's get degrees.
But like in that environment, the teachers, like they don't really care about you unless you're an A student because you're not really doing anything for like the school, right? Like their whole name is based on like, we're pumping
status quo.
Yeah, we're pumping these kids into really good universities.
Sure.
Like
don't say pumping these kids. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Like I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I want to say like you weren't allowed to walk at graduation if you weren't going to a college.
Oh my god.
And like junior college or like the military, like that didn't count.
It was like accomplishment to, graduate high school for us. Like it was like, hell, you earned it. You get to walk. Yeah. I didn't walk. No, I didn't walk. I hated high school. I had a very terrible time. I didn't walk because I graduated early.
Nerd, right. Geek.
Well,
what a geek.
So this might like this goes into what I was saying. So like I was getting in trouble all the fucking time, and quick little story, and they wanted to fucking expel me. And my mom came down to the school and was like, "You guys are crazy. This is a straight A student. Like." He's not a semester away from graduating. He has all the credits to graduate. Give him a diploma. So that's what they wanted me out of the school. So they let me. So they were, and their like knee jerk reaction was like, let's kick him out. And my mom's like, you can't. Like, why would you kick him out? Just like tell him he's done. And that's what I graduated early.
So the situation you've described when there were like troublesome kids, that they wanted to, like the rabble rousers, right?
The rebel of the underground
that they wanted to kick out, but they were smart,
sure,
right? And they were going to get into a good college. They would usually what they would do was they would sort of finagle their transcripts in such a way where they wouldn't finish at our high school. But they'd be taking classes at the university that was this little university that was across the street.
They would
from
take their name
school.
off their diploma?
No, they'd still give them a diploma.
But their name wouldn't be on it. No, like they'd take the school's name off the diploma.
No, the name would be on the diploma, but then they'd be like, oh, for you to fully earn your diploma, you have to, take these classes at the college or, whatever, like usually it was the one across the street from us or maybe another local college, and then they'd be like, you'll get college credit for it, and then we'll, matriculate your diploma.
God damn,
type deal.
matriculation. Yeah. You went to a fancy ass school.
Yeah, like we had a dude. I shit you not. He was a pretty funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty funny guy. Not a dumb guy either.
Sure.
Like a smart dude.
Well, yeah, if he matriculated into your school.
He got completely shit-faced before school, right? Like during the middle of the week, drove his car into the baseball diamonds behind our school and did donuts. Drunken donuts.
Oh my God.
On the baseball field, and then parked his car and went to class.
On the baseball field?
Parked his car in the parking lot and went to class, and he was hammered in class, and they were like, yeah, we're going to send you home. And then he had...
Why would you send him home? He's drunk.
Well, yeah, so they had someone...
Send him to the nurse.
I think they had someone pick him up, but like he had just a semester left, until he graduated, so they just let him finish at the college, and then he wasn't allowed to walk at graduation, but he mailed him a diploma. I saw him that summer. He was just like, dude, it was awesome.
Damn. Yeah, when I graduated early, I had the option to go walk. But and when I did when I left the school, I was like, I'll probably come back and see all my friends and walk and do the thing. But after like a few months of like being separated from like the high school thing, I was like, I'm not fucking going back there ever again. So they mailed it to me. But there was like a weird period in time where it was like I graduate high school, but I don't have a diploma yet. So like I can't prove it. But like if you call them, they'll tell you. So like going through the college process was a little weird for like
Trust
a year.
me, I can come here.
Yeah, it was a little weird for a year, but yeah, it was cool.
So you were a geek.
I don't know.
A little bit of a freak, though. A little bit of a Greek
I was
freak.
probably more freak than geek, but yeah, I was definitely overlapping in both of those things.
Yeah, I floated a little bit because I mostly, like my friend groups were all in sports mostly, right? But
so you were a jock.
I mean, I was captain of the swim team.
You're a fucking jock.
But that wasn't like, fortunately.
You were captain of the swim team.
Voted
I'm
captain.
sorry. Is there a level higher than captain?
That's coach.
No. Okay. So you were the highest ranking swimmer on the team.
Yeah, not the best, but like our swim team was always like pretty good.
So if I went to your high school and I was like, hey, I need to talk to the swim team. They're going to be like, if I was like, hey.
They're going to be like, oh, man, wish you were here in 03.
they'll be like, let me get the captain, right? Like, if I was like, hey, I need to talk to a swimmer on the swim team, they would get the captain.
I feel like they would get the coach first.
Well, and
as
then
an adult showing up.
And
they'd probably ask you, why do you want the swim team?
And once I got past the coach, he'd go get the captain.
And be like, I want him to show up in a Speedo.
You were a jock.
Yeah, I mean, because I knew that kind of my only ticket.
What's up with old jocks like not wanting to admit that they were jocks?
Well, I wasn't the stereotype football player.
Sure.
That's what I would call like
the Letterman jacket.
Yeah, we did wear Letterman jackets. They were pretty
what
rad.
The fuck, dude?
They were pretty rad.
And then you got a scholarship to college.
I had a captain pin on my Letterman jacket, which was pretty dope. It was pretty cool.
These are all the tropes.
But I mean,
you got a scholarship to college with swimming.
No, I didn't get a scholarship. I was able to swim in college, but there was some issues with like scholarship.
Okay, whatever.
Stuff,
you were a jock. You were a
jock. Sure, I guess.
Okay, so
I mean, I did date.
You had your fingers.
I did date like
the fucking homecoming queen.
No. I did steal. I stole It was the quarterback of our football team. I essentially stole his girlfriend, who was like she was on the dance team at the time.
Okay, let's talk about it. So women aren't property; you can't steal them. But
yeah, it was consensual.
Right. I mean, I didn't imply it wasn't. So there was a captain of a different team that had a girlfriend.
Yeah, I guess he was the captain of the team at the time. Well, I don't know.
What else would he be?
Yeah.
Did you say? Oh, he was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, star quarterback.
He was a star quarterback.
Lost his girl, and she started dating Neil.
Old me. Yep.
She chose to date Neil.
Mm-hmm.
You were the rebound.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of sports terms being thrown around.
Not mad about that.
It's a very jock storyline.
Yep. Used to sneak into her basement while her parents were sleeping.
Oh my god.
Win.
Did you?
Did all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
You won all the time.
All the time.
All right. Well, how does one win at swimming?
Just being the fat. I mean, it's a thankless
just swim
sport.
faster?
You swim fast.
Oh, okay.
It's the only sport where if you stop swimming, you die.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so profound.
Yeah. It was a deadly sport.
Anyway, I played sports in high school as well. I was a 3-sport athlete for a couple years. Actually.
No Letterman jacket?
Well, I had the jacket, but I didn't have the letters sewn on. Wait, did I have the jacket? No, I had the letters. I didn't have the jacket.
Oh.
They gave you the letters, but you had to buy the jacket.
Yeah, they gave us the letters.
You had to buy the jacket.
You had to buy the jacket.
Yeah, I didn't buy the jacket.
Yeah. We had 2 types of jackets you could wear. There's like a black one, and then our colors were like red and black.
I don't think I got I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I got a red and white one.
I never had the jacket because I didn't buy it. You had to buy the jacket.
Yeah, you had to buy it.
So, like, it's kind of like, when you see people with Letterman jackets, like that was an extra purchase. And then you had to get someone to sew it on. My mom would have sewn it on, right? But I did not procure the jacket. I did play sports. So that's the thing. Like you had your fingers in a lot of pies at my school. I played sports. And I wasn't consistently like straight A all through high school, but I did well in like the big subjects.
I did
right?
not do well.
When I wanted to focus, I was a good student, right? So I was into, I was kind of a nerd in that aspect, but I was also like experimenting with drugs and alcohol, hanging out with the burnouts, and I was getting in trouble. I was getting in, little fights here and there and shit.
I didn't really mess around with any of that stuff just because it was really.
You were afraid?
Yes, okay. I was. No. Especially, cause, the 90s, any kid who grew up through the 90s.
DARE program.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Drugs are really expensive. Wait.
Fucking that egg in the frying pan. This is your brain on drugs.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Drug abuse resist education? Drug abuse something education.
Yeah, it was a pretty...
Drug abuse resistance education, I believe.
It was a full acronym.
What was... Yes, it was an acronym. What was your DARE officer's name?
Do not remember.
What?
Are you talking about the police officer?
Yeah.
Oh, can't remember. I can picture what in high school, he was actually pretty rad in high school.
They usually are.
He was this big, just brick house and he was like the sheriff.
Oh.
So, and he was, he did but he would come in and talk about like legit, like drug trafficking operations, like legit ones, right?
Yeah, that's what they do, yeah. For those who don't know, a DARE officer, the DARE program was a drug awareness program, and there was a cop an actual cop, they were a DARE officer, and they would come to schools and teach you about drugs and all this shit and why you shouldn't do them and
Pretty
where
much.
the best places are to buy them and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was cool in the fact that like people were like, yeah, I like don't really want to do drugs. I mean, people did nobody was doing anything really serious.
Well, since you didn't ask, my DARE officer's name was Officer Yako.
Yako?
Dude, Officer Yako, wherever you are, you're cool. I mean,
probably riding high on a pension right now. Good for him.
I did do drugs. I'm sorry, but
failure, Officer Yako. But
you were still cool. Yeah. I will say, I actually ran into his son like years later.
No way.
In college, I was like, I forgot his name, but he was like, yeah, I'm so and so Yako, and I was like, I knew, and he was like, my dad was the DARE officer. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, people all the time ask,
I'm kind of a big deal.
He was a cool guy.
Did he pass you a joint?
He was a great singer. No, but for Officer Yako, so DARE program, if you don't know, the the mascot of the DARE program was
Can't remember.
Darren the Dare Lion.
Oh, yeah.
He was a lion.
That was worse than Smokey the Bear, man.
Yeah.
At least Smokey the Bear, like you were like, I want to listen to you.
So Officer Yako had like a thing where like if you like wrote an essay on why you shouldn't do drugs, you could like win prizes. The best prize, he had like a couple of them, were Darren the Dare Lion like stuffed animals. He had like 6 of them or something. I submitted a play. I wrote a screenplay.
You wrote a play for the Dare officer?
I wrote a play on why you shouldn't do drugs.
He was probably like...
this actually I think was in like 7th or 8th grade. I don't think this was high
just
school.
Just Officer Yako fan fiction.
I won the Dare Lion. I had that bitch. It was dope. But yeah, I wrote like a little play on, saying no to drugs and shit.
We didn't have like assignments through our Dare. He would just tell us like... Yeah, you don't want to do this.
We would watch videos. Yeah, like there's like the video of the rabbit getting high and shit.
Yeah, there was some videos involved. I mean,
he'd tell us about trafficking. And I don't think my Dare officer. I don't think we had him in high school. I think we had him in like middle school. So.
Were kids having a lot of sex in your high school?
Yes. I wasn't,
right.
but yes.
I wasn't really.
I went to so a lot of kids, I guess they go through like K through 5, and then like some kids go through like 6, 7, 8 in one school, like middle school, or like sometimes like
junior high, or
there's like a junior
split.
high.
Yeah.
Sometimes like a junior high where it's like 6th and 7th grade, and then like you go to 8th grade, and then I went to a school that was all K through 8. It was just like one big...
Oh, just a big blend.
So like 8th grade, I was having like milk breaks and recess. And then like the next year I'm in high school where people are like doing drugs and having sex. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think we were old enough to like put our parts together. Like I didn't... Yeah, it was a huge shock, that people were fucking.
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing about it. I remember when I was in junior high. And like I heard... the one dude in junior high who got himself a BJ, and he was like, he was telling
a whole BJ.
Dude, we were like in the 6th grade, man.
Damn,
like
you got
7th
a derb,
grade.
huh?
Yeah, and I remember there was a big group of us standing around as he told us this story, and I was just thinking in my brain, like, why would a girl want to do that? Like, that's where my pee comes from.
I still ask that question.
Yeah. But when you get to high school, and I was like a freshman, and people were taught, they're using slang for sex.
Sure.
And I don't know these slang words, like, oh yeah,
like hit me with one.
I was pounding Ashley, and I was like, and in my brain, I'm like, oh, you guys were like roughhousing together? You guys
were wrestling?
Yeah, you guys were at wrestling practice,
The horizontal hug?
Yeah, and you're just kind of like, what? Like, this is this is a thing that girls and guys do.
Yeah, no.
And it was,
you didn't know what sex was?
Oh, I mean, I knew what it was, but, that's why I thought that in going back to Freaks and Geeks, like that episode where they watch the porn is like hilarious because it reminded me of the first time I saw like porn, and I was equally as mortified.
Sure, yeah. I
mean, like I was equally mortified and wanted to run away. Yeah. And actually did run away, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah, like from my friend's brother's room. I was like, I'm out of here.
Oh, you got scared.
Yeah.
I didn't run away. So it was before high school. Like we had sex ed in grade school.
You had an actual sex ed class.
I had an actual sex ed class in like I think 7th grade. I don't remember how old I was when I was watching porn. When I watched porn, it was before high school.
When you were porning.
But that's just because the internet is such a dope place sometimes. But yeah, 7th grade, and I remember we had to...
Hold on. Were you actively utilizing... Was the internet, like, regularly utilized in your when you were in high school?
It wasn't, like, fully integrated into, like, coursework and stuff. So I was a computer nerd, so I was actively on the internet.
Sure.
And we had access, like we had computers with access to the internet, and like the teachers all had access to the internet. So yeah, I mean, it was like fully integrated. Like the internet was in like full fledged.
The internet was not in my high school.
Like iPhones, the first iPhone came out while I was in high school. I was like a sophomore, junior, I think, when the iPhone came out. So like the internet was around, but like having a phone with a reliable, like, because before smartphones, you could get the internet on a dumb phone, but like it kind of sucked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was worthless.
So like the internet being on a cell phone was like a fairly new concept, but like the internet was around, right?
Okay.
Social media, like MySpace was big, like the big social media.
I was 2000 to 2004, so the internet was not a thing in high school.
Okay, yeah.
And cell phones were like maybe even going to like a wealthier prep school, like some people had them, you know, but I got a cell phone when I started driving. But it was literally just for the purpose of like, you know, checking in with the parents kind of thing.
So my first cell phone was like a track phone like that where like you could text and call and play Snake. But smartphones took off. So when I was in high school, it was MP3 players. Like people would have an MP3 player and a phone.
Rad.
And like iPods were blowing up, and then like iPhones, like all of a sudden we weren't carrying two devices, we had one device. So when the iPhones popped up, then like all the other smartphones did. So like by the end of high school, everyone had a smartphone.
We had CD players with tape on them to make sure they didn't skip.
I had CD. Yeah, so I didn't have the portable CD players. Our cars were rocking CD players.
Yeah,
still
cars had CD players.
Yeah. I had a car with I went through a couple cars. I had a car with the tape player, but like it would have the tape. It was a cassette that had a aux cord hanging off of it.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
you plug it into your iPod, MP3 player, or smartphone. It was just a headphone jack, and you just plug it in.
Yeah, I threw a fun, very high school. My senior year, I threw this big sound system in my car with like two big Alpine subwoofers.
Oh, I did that a lot. Yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun. But every now and then you get a CD stuck in there, and you're like, crap, I got to listen to the same like 16 songs.
Yeah. See, I had a group
until I get this fixed.
Hell yeah. I had a group of friends. We were really big into like fucking with the sound systems in cars and shit like that.
I had a neighbor who went to public school who like hooked me up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
He certainly hooked me up with, I mean, I still paid for it, but it was these fell off the back of the truck kind of situation.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa, man, I'm paying like half price for this stuff, and it's brand new, fresh out of the box. And he's just like, yeah, I got a hookup. I'm like, I appreciate you protecting me. Thank you.
But back to sex ed. Yeah, that happened, I think, in 7th grade. Learned about fucking vaginas and penises and all that. I do remember
7th grade.
yeah. It's probably earlier now. You keep going back. But I do remember like we had to like, you know how like you take turns reading, like, oh, it's my turn to read type thing. I remember there was this girl. I won't say her last name, but her first name was Anna. And Anna, like, every time it came around to Anna, it was, like, the juiciest part. And, like, I talk to a few people, like, every now and then and be like, yeah, remember sex ed? And he's like, dude, I just remember Anna having to read. Like when it got to Anna, it's like, yeah, and then the dick goes into the pussy. You know, like, no, it's not that, but, like, yeah, it's...
We didn't have anything like that. I mean, we didn't touch that stuff in junior high. And then in high school, we had... sophomore biology class.
We learned about STDs, getting pregnant, condoms. Like, we didn't see condoms. It was all videos and textbooks.
Dude, prep, like Catholic school, it's like, you know, you don't want to have, sex before marriage is a big no-no. Like our teachers would like, brag about how they would literally brag, be like, when I married my spouse.
I think the big takeaway is take your kids to public school.
Yeah.
And on that note,
it's a good advertisement for public schools.
Hell yeah, public school. Does it? Who? It sounded like one of us had more fun. Anyway, on that note, we're gonna take a quick little break, and we'll be right back after this little second. We're back.
We are back.
We are back.
We just regaled.
We palatialed around the regalia.
Yeah. Nice. Ooh, great vocab right there.
Oh yeah, that's
You're
a throwback.
Total geek in high school, man.
That's a throwback to old online video. Palatial regalia. If you know, you know. Palatial regalia.
Well, we were just talking about some high school experiences, given our Freaks and Geeks review.
Yeah.
Here.
High school sucks. Yeah. Sex ed was interesting. So, yeah, I was primed with sex before I went into high school, but I didn't think it was going to happen anytime soon. And then I got to high school, I'm like, oh, people are fucking.
Maybe this will happen.
Yeah, it was more like, I felt like a little kid, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's time to like grow up a little bit. People are fucking.
It's kind of time to do stuff.
Yeah, it's like, when am I gonna fuck?
When is Luke gonna get effed a little bit?
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Did that happen in high school?
When I got effed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it pretty cool?
It was awesome. Was it cool? It was awesome. What the fuck? Was it not cool when you got effed?
It was pretty cool. It was pretty comical, but cool. And then what was honestly the cool thing about it it was like a last day of summer kind of thing.
So you could be like, oh, he doesn't go here. You don't know him.
Well, I started my school year the next day. So when
you came in fresh.
Oh, I came in and I felt honestly
empty balls.
That was probably like
you had empty balls.
The
syndrome.
coolest I ever felt in high school. Like
Nice.
Quietly to myself, like I'm in the club.
I remember
the effing club.
Nice.
The effing club.
So yeah, I did not. Yeah, we don't have to talk about when we don't have to talk about any of this, but I will say that it happened later for me than a lot of like my friends.
Yeah, I was in the late category.
And I remember I was like taking a break from like I was like in like wrestling practice or whatever, and I like came out to the hallway to like drink some water, and I ran to like one of my really close buddies, and he was kind of just like smirking at me, and I was like, "What, dude?" He's like, "I just can't believe you're not a virgin anymore." and as he said that, we both looked over, and my wrestling coach was right there, just staring at us, and I was just like, "Oh god."
I gotta go do some burpees now.
Like he did not want to hear that, but
no, it was pretty funny. It was kind of funny because like after a great event like that happens and
you're losing the V card,
and you
got the dick card
punched. You're like sitting around with friends or whatever in school, and then you start hearing the kids who are now you know that they're like clearly lying about it. You're just like,
it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't smell like that at all.
It's like that 40-year-old virgin moment where he's like, it felt like I grabbed her boobs and it felt like bags of sand.
Right. Bags of sand. Is that Judd Apatow?
Yeah, that was a Judd Apatow
Shout out Judd Apatow. We're full circle.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Freaks and Geeks. I mean,
great show.
What are we thinking here in terms of a rec to watch? Or
you're going right to it, right to the rec?
I mean, what do you think? Or do you want to do? I mean, look, I don't know if you did this. There's a ton of stuff on the internet, obviously, about this show because it got such a cult following.
Yeah, people
and like,
won't shut the fuck up.
I don't know if this happened to you, but I did dive in. I'm like, why did this, just prompt the Google engine?
No,
right?
I didn't Google that. Why did it
get canceled?
Yeah.
You didn't?
No. Why did it?
Well, I know Luke's laughing at me, but I know a part of him will take this seriously.
I was just laughing at that interaction.
You were laughing at me.
Please continue. Neil.
So there was like a myriad of reasons, right?
All right, myriad, sick word.
Yeah, super sick word. So apparently the show, it was picked up at a time where there wasn't a programming like exec at NBC, or the guy who was in charge just kind of was like, whatever, I trust the people who like greenlight this stuff. We'll see what happens, and we'll take the stuff that's keep and keep that stuff going.
Sure.
During when the show was airing, they got a new head of like programming or development it was NBC. I think I said CBS, but it was NBC.
I think you said NBC.
Yeah, it was NBC, and the guy didn't like the show, like at all. Like he watched it and was like, I don't get it.
Sure.
And also the guy went to like he went to a boarding school for high school. So like
he was like, this isn't relatable.
Yeah, he's like, where are their dorms?
He's like, where's the dorm? Where's the butler with the tea?
Why aren't they all dressed like Harry Potter?
Why aren't they riding horses? This is not what high school is at all.
Yeah. So obviously he was just like, I don't get it. This is dumb, type deal. So there was that, and kind of similar to, because we talked about this when we were talking about Firefly, how like episodes were aired like out of order, and then there was like a lot of spacing.
So they fucked them on the release.
So they kind of messed up the release, and like episodes were they would like air an episode or two, and then they like didn't air an episode. I think it was the 4th episode. They like actually didn't air it because I can't remember the reason, but they like didn't air it, and I didn't think there was anything like, I don't know, whatever, 1999 TV politics, right?
Okay.
But like they would, there'd be like a multi-week break in between episodes, and nobody kind of knew why, but it was just because there were other shows that were happening, and then their time slot, you got to think like, what's the demographic, who's going to watch the show about a high school? Well, it's probably going to be mostly younger people.
Sure.
And then they switched the time slot on that show to Saturday at 8 p.m.
Oh boy. That's when they're all fucking and stuff. Like they're all the kids are doing other things. Well, I mean, Saturday 8 p.m. Yeah, you're not catching a lot of that. You're not catching a ton. I mean, what, in 1999?
Yeah.
You're not catching a ton of high school kids, probably.
No, and I mean, this is a time too where like there isn't a DVR. Like if you wanted
Are you
to,
sure there wasn't DVR in 1999?
No, you had to like record. You had to like tape it.
Wow.
To rewatch it.
What a magical time it was.
Yeah, you had to use like a VCR recording device.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like they did that, and then this is also the time, like shortly towards the end of the season, or maybe it was right afterwards, but like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh, it popped off. Okay.
And then they were like, oh, these shows are way better.
So Who Wants to Be a Millionaire fucked Freaks and Geeks. That's what happened?
It was part of the reason.
Oh, my God.
And then
Regis.
And then that head of programming apparently told Judd Apatow, like, yo, there's like no happy endings in this show. Like it's kind of sad, and he's like, well, it's kind of the point. We're like talking about like high school, and a lot of times for folks, high school is this super awkward, weird time. So that's what we're trying to sort of show. Yeah. And he was more like, no, we want to make people happy. And another funny thing that I found out was
you dove deep, man.
Yeah, I did.
You dove real deep.
I mean, man,
this is page 3 shit.
It's that Wikipedia just click link wormhole, where you just keep going.
That'll do it.
And then I wind up on who actually built the pyramids, or the Anunnaki or something
slaves.
like that.
It was slaves. Yeah, slaves built them.
But like, so kind of interesting. So Freaks and Geeks, 1999, they created a website. For the like the show like had their website to like promote the show.
Sick.
And then NBC was like, no, we're not going to promote that website because we don't want to lose views to the internet.
Oh,
wow.
Subscribe to Peacock Plus today.
So that's just like a bunch of reasons why.
Yeah, it's just it seems like a plethora of reasons the show just didn't pan out.
Yeah,
like, whatever. It was an awesome show. And all of those people went on. Like Judd kept on doing projects, right? Like it seemed to have sort of like he was able to launch into more projects.
Yeah, for sure.
Clearly, it worked out well. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, and then it launched the careers of pretty much everybody who was on that show and kept a lot of people. Kept a lot of people going, but I mean, like you saw,
lot of people going.
Like in transitioning. If you look back, in history, network TV, 1999, 2000, 2001. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style shows started to be a little more prevalent.
Deal or No Deal, You Are the Weakest Link,
and
Biggest Loser.
Yep. Then during that time too, reality TV really started to pick up steam.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Real World,
Mad
Road
World,
Rules.
Road Rules.
Yeah. So like,
and others.
Well, these little cable.
The Osbournes.
Well, most of reality TV when it was kind of starting was on cable, right? And they didn't have budgets like the big networks, and the big networks were like, holy shit, like these, cable TV stations are getting, reaping all these benefits from like super low budget reality TV. Like we need to start sort of changing our model a little more.
The model was disrupted.
Yeah. And it's not like, I mean, come on. Like, it's not like Freaks and Geeks. You're like, oh man, this big budget series.
No, yeah, I mean, it wasn't big budget, but it was done really well, right? I mean, there's what is
Absolutely.
So Fun Dip used to be called what, like Lick'em Dip or something like that, Lick and Stick,
Lick Dick,
Lick'em Stick. I think it Lick and Stick or Lick and Dip. It was called something else, and in the 80s when it came, I don't know when it came out, but there's a scene where like the girl is like eating it. And she's like, oh, it's just Lick'em Dip. Like, she calls it that, but she's holding Fun Dip. Like, it literally says Fun Dip.
Yeah, it says Fun Dip on it.
You know what I mean?
That, like, green packet.
That's, like, the only, like, one thing I really noticed. I wasn't, like, looking for stuff. But, like, overall, like, I mean, like, they nailed the aesthetic. It's not like shit looked cheap and there's, like, weird graphics, stuff like that. It just wasn't a giant budget, right?
Yeah. The dialogue was, like, pretty on, I remember that one girl bitching at her parents. She's like, hey, newsflash, and I'm like, nice. Yeah. Nice.
It was a very, like, I think it was very real. Like, they placed it in a very, like, real time, and they were, like, true to the time period that they set it in.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, an imagined, like, 80s where people are like, dude, I'm fucking out of my gourd. Like, they're, like, overusing the phrases that we say now.
Like, people are just wearing pastel suits who have no business wearing them.
Right. Right. So, I mean, it was a cool show and all that. I kind of wish Seth Rogen was in it more.
He didn't have a
huge role. He was main cast, but not like, huge role.
He was like he was like the smart stoner.
There's a funny moment when in the same episode
were you getting some Breakfast Club vibes in a way? Like, somewhat. Sort of,
Well, just because there was some clashes of different types of people, but I mean, overall, it seemed like the clique stayed together.
Yeah,
but like, there was a funny moment, that episode where Jason Segal's character is trying to be like the drummer or whatever, and the main person, breaks up the band because she's like telling them to practice or whatever, so they're all mad at her. And she comes out to like that like patio area where they all go and smoke, and it's just Seth Rogen's character that's like sitting on a picnic table, like staring at her, like menacingly eating sunflower seeds. And he's like, oh yeah, thanks for breaking up the band. And she was like, I'm sorry I told you guys to practice one song. And he goes, so you admit it.
Yeah. I mean, Seth Rogen, it's funny watching it. It's funny watching a young Seth Rogen. I love his fucking sideburns.
Yeah.
That like makes him
He rocked those
cool.
for a while.
He rocked those chops.
Yeah, bring the chops back.
But
Seth.
I mean, you see Seth Rogen in his movies and stuff now, and he just kind of plays a variation of himself.
Sure, yeah. Like, I mean, not always, but yeah. I mean, his big movies. I think that's what happens when people are in like they're like in like a handful of movies at a time that are like classics. Like you kind of equate like those roles to like that person, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like
I was like Jim Carrey.
I just felt like I was watching Seth Rogen, like, like he's acting and he's pretty good at it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know what I mean?
It was a young Seth Rogen, and you see him acting, and you don't like see him playing a character. You see him playing a role, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really like it was really good to watch. I mean, the same with like pretty much everyone on that show. You're like, at least for me, I'm watching it, I'm like, this is very good. You know? Like, and it's very cool to watch these people that I've seen for years, like in, TVs and movies, across my life, like in like one of their like earliest projects, and like just seeing them like absolutely nail the roles. So it must, it's cool to think about them like, going through the process of like landing that and then like taking that seriously and like, like just taking on those roles at such an early age. It's interesting for me to watch that, because you could kind of see like their whole fucking career like start, like it seems like a starting point for most of their career. So it's really fun to watch.
big time.
No.
Would you see yourself? Well, I don't know. I don't think you could play a high school student.
Mm-mm.
I think you could play the high school student's drug dealer.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
Or maybe you'd be the fun guidance counselor.
Yeah, who sells drugs?
Yeah, who also sells drugs.
No, I could. I could work. I could play someone who works at a school or sells things to high schoolers. I could play the fucking gas station clerk down the street from the high school.
Yeah. See, if I was to be cast in something like that, if I had acting, aspirations, I would want to be like the bus driver.
Hell yeah.
That'd be pretty rad.
I'd be the janitor. I was a janitor.
The janitor, yeah.
I'd love to play the high school janitor.
Dude, funny tale. My grandpa, after he served over 20-some years in the military, worked for the government, just wanted to kind of have a quiet life afterwards.
Yeah.
Decided to get a job for the school district so he could also get another pension.
Sick.
And he was a janitor at a high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
For
15 years.
Well, so I went through that grade school thing, and we had the same custodian the entire time. His name was Cliff, and Cliff was my custodian. And then I went to high school, and Cliff was still my custodian. Turns out Cliff started his own janitorial company and got contracts. And he hired a bunch of custodians and got contracts all over the area, and that's how he was he was my custodian all the way from kindergarten. Well, I didn't start in kindergarten, but since I was a small child all the way through high school, he was the guy cleaning up in the background the entire time, because he just took elevate his career, so where he was everywhere, and he preferred to work at the high school over the grade school and stuff like that.
Yeah. I know my grandpa had some pretty funny stories. This was down in Florida, in Tampa, or outside of Tampa.
Yeah.
And he was just, this is a guy who was 3 wars underneath his belt. And he was just yeah, man, I just want to chill out, type deal.
Yeah.
The custodian at our school, the janitor at our school, I don't know if this was when I was going there or maybe it was afterwards, but he was kind of he was this funny dude who would, joke around with everybody and everybody would wave at him.
Yeah.
Nice. But then, I don't know, apparently he said a joke that, or I don't know, he did something, and they had to let him go.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
He said something to some of those ladies.
Ooh.
Who were hiking them skirts up a little too high.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, my custodian, he was just this fucking jacked old dude. He was just fucking ripped. And
he was just probably in witness protection. He was
did
an
not
ex-mob enforcer.
I could see it. He didn't interact with us much. We would be like, hey, Cliff, and be like, oh, hey. I don't think you
Dude, I feel like a lot
name.
of high school custodians have stories that are just wild. Wild life stories that are intentionally kept secret.
Dude, there's been so many times where shit goes down in the bathroom in high school a lot, right? And there's been plenty of times where it's just some shit went down the bathroom and oh shit, Cliff is taking a shit. Right? It's he ain't gonna, they just leave, they're what's he gonna do? I'm out. He was just there. He wouldn't interact with students too much. He was doing his job. I was always nice to him and stuff like that. And he was always nice back to me. And that was it. I don't even think he knew my name.
We didn't have a lot of staff at our school outside of teachers or anything like that.
Yeah.
We had a school secretary who was nice. We had a dean. As well.
A dean?
Yeah, we had a dean of students.
Oh, my God.
Dean of discipline and dean of students who was really
cool. A dean
cool.
of discipline?
Yeah. He was really, really cool. I liked him a lot.
Take your kids to public school because this just sounds weird.
We
had a principal and a vice principal. We had a superintendent.
He did amateur boxing as
Good
well.
Lord.
So we would talk a lot because he knew that I was...
There's a Kevin James movie about this.
Yeah. So his boxing name... Not even kidding you. I watched one of his matches, too, when I was in high school, and it was a lot of fun.
Was it Butterbean?
It was the Mean Dean.
Oh, my God.
And it was pretty good. And I'm trying to think, he was probably, in his late 40s, doing this, at that age. Yeah, and it was, cool to watch and stuff. And I was a shithead student.
Sure.
But, there were times when he could have just like really, throttled me in terms of getting me in trouble or something. But we would just like talk like, oh, did you ever catch that like classic Marvin Hagler fight or whatever? And then, and it was cool.
Yeah.
So,
that's
shout
nice.
out. I think he passed away.
Damn.
Good guy.
Oh.
Good guy. What a funny guy.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Wow. Yeah. We had very different high school experiences.
Very different. Worlds away from one another. But
worlds away.
Worlds away, but distance-wise, we were a couple hours away from each other.
We were, yeah. We were a couple hours away.
Pretty crazy. This country, huh?
Well, a couple years away, too.
And a couple years. Well, what year did you graduate?
I don't want to say.
2009.
It wasn't 2004. Let's just say that. Well, the thing is like you were just talking about, like if I could play like a teacher, like if I was in the role, I'd play teacher, custodian, or something. I think back now to some of my high school days, and I'm like, I wonder how old that dude was. Like that teacher, that thing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I think like
they're like in their mid-20s.
Well, some of them were like my age now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of them were a little younger, like fresh out of high school, tried a few things and came back, like, went to community college, got a certificate, came back, that sort of thing. Or went to a quick 4-year, banged out a fucking bachelor's degree, came back.
Oh, dude, a bunch of the high school
A
bunch of the high school teachers that taught me, who were like in their mid-20s, aren't teaching there anymore, and they fucking like did some fucked up shit. Like after they left, like a lot of them like effed ex-students and shit like that.
Oh, okay. So I was just about to ask this. How many teachers banged students when you were in high school?
There was one that I knew of.
There was one like scandal.
Like confirmed.
Okay.
Confirmed. There was
rumors for others?
It was no, there wasn't rumors for others. There was some rumors and like, this teacher like.
So there was rumors.
Yeah, well, just that they were like kind of just because there was like a senior.
There was speakings. There was whispers.
Well, look, there was a senior trip that I didn't go on, but there was a senior trip that would go to Europe.
Oh,
right,
and where it was more legal.
Well,
gross.
So like some of these seniors are 18. I mean, we always heard like wild stories from this like senior trip. None of us could ever go because it was during our me and my friends, because it was during our sports season.
Well,
but like there was, you don't
have to go into the whole fucking of it.
No, I mean, there weren't any rumors that came out of that other than that these teachers would just get like crazy wasted in front of the students.
Oh, okay.
Type deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was one teacher banging incident while I was in high school.
Yeah.
How many pregnant girls?
We had one. I was like.
You had one? I think
we had one, and as soon as she started to show, they were like, "Nope, now you can't go to school anymore."
Oh, because you're not, because you went to a super serious school. I had one. There was one pregnant girl. I was related to her. She never showed. She was good at hiding it.
Oh, okay.
How many lunchroom fights did you witness?
I witnessed one pretty good one that wasn't during lunch. It was right afterwards.
Did you participate?
No, I was watching. It was pretty cool. It was dope. I was like a junior or a sophomore, and it was these peeps that were a year older than me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rad.
Wow.
They just beat on each other while a circle of 30 kids just were like, yeah!
Awesome. Well, that's probably all the parallel experiences I care to unpack with you.
Expound upon.
Yes.
Until your next therapy session.
Until next time. So this was Freaks and Geeks. Do we want to do a quick...
let's give it a rating.
Let's hold the sideways, okay? What do we want to do?
So the thumbs up is a rec, the thumbs down is a no.
This is, a recommendation to watch it in 2025. Is it
in 2025.
Yes.
You want to look at each other?
You want to do a 3, 2, 1? I don't want to look at you. I want to look forward.
All right, we'll do a 3, 2, 1 on 1.
All right.
Ready?
Yup.
3, 2, 1.
What?
Boom!
No way.
I'm going down.
I tried to fake you out.
I saw that, and I thought you were going to be down with me.
Why?
Here's the thing.
Okay. Give it to us.
I think if you watch it now, even if you're a young kid, like high school or college age, I'm not sure if they're gonna like dig it or really even resonate with it, just because high school is so different now.
I gotta say I disagree, and we'll keep it quick. But I feel like this is a great show that you can throw on and just enjoy. It's a great show to throw on in the background, just like Ghosted. People sat there and watched like fucking Stranger Things and like shows are taking place in the 90s now and shit like that, which is very different. I think people like those experiences and to like look back on those experiences. It's not like the quality of it is bad. So, and I think that the writing and the acting is very well done. So I think it's totally worth it to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it.
I enjoyed watching it.
I'm mad that I haven't seen it sooner.
I enjoyed watching it. I just would be, I can't give it a full recommend because it would be like a cautious recommend. It'd be
I wouldn't even say cautious. I think that some people might not enjoy it. But, like, that's the same thing with Ghosted. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's definitely worth it to check it out to see if it is your cup of tea.
I think if I was talking to someone, like, in our friend circle or network or, like, maybe another comedian or something like that, I'd be like, yeah, man, it's a fun, like, watch.
Oof.
You know, but I wouldn't press it very hard. I would be like, you got
more than you would press Ghosted?
I mean, Ghosted, I told you, that had an asterisk, man. That had an asterisk.
There's no asterisks, man.
There's no asterisk with this.
You got to do.
That was just an asterisk.
It's up or down.
It was just an asterisk for Ghosted.
It's a fucking thumb.
My asterisk.
Your thumb either goes up or down.
It changed your mind.
I know, but it goes up.
I'm still sticking.
Your thumb goes up or down. There's no asterisks. You can't asterisk a thumb. Why can't people? You know what?
The thumb is staying down for Freaks and Geeks.
That's fine.
And I'm sorry.
I'm not trying to flip you. Just don't asterisk your
sorry.
thumbs.
I'm sorry you're upset about it.
I'm a little upset. No, it's a great show. It might, and that's the thing. One of my good buddies I talked to him about, he was like, I watched the first couple episodes forever ago. It just wasn't really my thing. But I think it was like a cool looking show, which, I could totally see. Like that could totally be for people. Whether or not it's worth it to watch it in 2025 to check it out, I totally got to give it the thumbs up. And that's where we're at. So, Freaks and Geeks. Hey, if there's another canceled TV show you would like to see us watch, put that down in the comments. As you know, every season we do a new topic. This current season, the first season of the Thunderbutts podcast, is canceled TV shows. If you know of a different topic for future seasons that you'd like to see us do, make sure you drop that in the comments. Make sure to subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
Ring the bell. What else should they do, Neil?
I mean, definitely comment whether you agree or disagree.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you
give us the thumb or tell us which way your thumb would go in the comments.
Yeah, show us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're probably going to get some fists, too.
All right. Say something cool so we can fade out. Say something cool so we can fade out.
Looking forward to a potential Freaks and Geeks starring Luke.
He brought it back. Fading out now.